hanging. This could cause injury because the goalkeeper or player could trip over the net and hurt themselves. Probability of this hazard is probably 2, because it could easily happen. And severity, I'd probably say it's 2 as well. Control measure for this is just simply tighten the goal nets. This hazard here is the tram line is too close to the wall, so people could fall over it, like hit the head or injure themselves quite seriously if they hit the wall. The probability of this hazard probably 2, because it could happen quite easily. Severity would be a 3, but if they fall into the wall, could easily get a long-term injury or head injury. The control measure for this hazard would be to warn the participants at the start of the session that it's quite close, so just take the time when they're going into the wall, and then, or if they carry on to go too close to the wall, make the pitch smaller with cones. There's water on the floor. This could be dangerous as people, like participants, could slip over and hurt themselves quite easily. The probability of this hazard is probably about a 3, because it can easily happen if someone's running across it. The severity of this hazard could be a 3, because it could fall over and harm themselves quite badly. Control measure would be to just sweep up the water, make sure it's the floor's dry. There's a bit of paper on the floor, litter. This could easily cause injury because someone could slip on it or trip. The probability of this happening is probably a 1, because it's very likely it's a small piece of litter. The severity would be a 1 as well, because it only probably cause like minor bruising or a minor injury. Control measure would be to remove the piece of litter. Here, there's a door coming onto the court. This could harm participants because they could run into it, bang their head, or cause them a long-term injury. The probability of this happening is probably a 3, because someone running down the line could easily run into it and injure themselves. Severity could be a 2 or a 3, because it could cause quite a bad injury. Control measure would be to simply just close and lock the door, so it's off the field of stuff. Here there's factors for blocking the fire exit. This is a hazard because if there's a blocking the fire exit, people, if there's a fire, get trapped in here because they can't get out, or if they do get out, they can trip over the bags and harm themselves as well. The probability of this happening is probably a 1, because there's very rarely going to be a fire. Severity would be a 3, because it could lead to death or serious injury. Control measure would just be to move the bags out of the sports or into different places so they're not blocking the fire exit. This hazard here is the fence is quite close to the pitch, so if players running down the line at some speed could run into the fence and injure themselves quite badly. Could cause like a serious head injury or long-term injury. Probability of something is probably about 1, because most people slow down when they get there. Severity could be a 3, because it could cause serious injury. Control measure for this would be to maybe put padding around the side of the fencing, so if someone runs into the fence. There's a piece of litter on the floor. This could be dangerous because someone could run and slip on the piece of litter and injure themselves. Probably a minor injury if they slipped on it. Probability of this happening is probably a 1, because it's such a big pitch. It's very rare someone's going to slip on that. The severity would be a 1 as well, because it's not going to cause a massive injury if they do slip on it. The control measure would be to just simply remove the litter and put it in the bin, so there's no chance of anyone slipping. Lights might not always be working, so if ever there's an event like a game or something, if the lights aren't working, then they won't be able to play if it's at night. The probability of this is probably a 1, because it's very rarely going to happen. On the off chance it might do though. Severity would be 3, because the game would be able to go ahead if it was at night, if the lights weren't working. The control measure for this would just simply be to get them serviced every month or 2 to make sure that they're going to be working on a regular basis. There's goal is on the line, so if the pitch, if they're playing on the full length side pitch, someone's running down the line, it could easily get shoulder barged or run into it by accident into the goal post, which could cause a severe injury. The probability of this happening is probably a 1, because it's most people will notice it's on the side of the pitch, so they will stop when they get there. Severity could be a 3, because it could cause serious head injury or long-term injuries. The control measure would just be to move the goals back into where the concrete is, so it's really 5 yards in. There's a black net, it's going to be up there, but it's overhanging onto the floor behind the goal. This could cause injury, because if, say, the ball goes over the bar, goalkeeper or another player runs around the back of the goal to collect it, they could trip on the black net and injure themselves. Probably a minor short-term injury, probably just a cut or a bruise. Probability of it happening is probably a 1, because most people wouldn't really run around the back of the goal unless they're in their rush. The severity would be probably a 1 or a 2, because it would be just a minor injury, I'd thought. Control measure for this is literally just to pin the black net back up so it's tight, so it's not overhanging off the floor. The mats come up and overfolded on the entrance to the AstroTurf. It's going to cause someone to trip on it, probably cause a minor injury. Probability of this happening is probably a 1, because most people would recognise and just walk around it. Severity would probably be a 1 as well, because it probably just cause a minor like bruise or scratch. The control measure for this would just be to flatten the mat out so it's not coming up, so someone can trip on it.